Hello, good day internet people. Yeah, so hopefully the sound is still okay as it was last night. Last night I was doing some egg hatching, and if you were watching, you will know that I managed to hatch a shiny Pokemon. So that was egg hatching that we did yesterday. So what we're doing at the moment is we're trying shiny chaining, which works through battling. Now, it works on two major factors. The first one is how many you've got in a current chain, that is how many you've killed without running away or encountering a different Pokemon. And then there's the how many of the certain Pokemon that you have killed overall. It might also include caught, I'm not sure. And that kind of maxes out at 500. So for the best shiny odds, you want to have fought and killed probably 500 of the Pokemon you're hunting, and have a current chain of 25 or more. And if you've got the shiny charm, that gives you more chances of a shiny as well. Basically, it gives you more rerolls as to the check whether you get a shiny or not. So that's kind of how it determines it. At the moment, I am on a 25 plus chain, so the chain itself is maxed out. As for the number killed, I'm about 200 and something. So there's a long way to go in terms of maxing out the odds of a shiny. But I think at the moment it's something like 1 in 700, just under that. So it could still happen, it's not impossible. Hello to everyone who's already viewing. I know that's probably not that many, but hello anyway. Hope you can hear me. Any issues with balance of sound, let me know. If you want me up or the game up or the game down or me down. We can fix that for you if we need to. So we're going to just kind of keep going until a shiny shows up or I get really bored. It's okay if I encounter something different as long as I don't kill it or catch it. If I just run away, as far as I'm aware, that does not break the chain. So we can kind of just keep poking away. I'm hoping that visiting a Pokemon Center, should I need to, doesn't break the chain either. On the Let's Go games you could get away with it, so hopefully that's just if I need to restore my PP. I might just keep bringing different Pokemon out of the boxes because they're low level things. It's not like I need to have high level stuff to kill these guys, so I could just keep dropping stuff in and out of my boxes without having to head back. But yeah, so doobie. Here we are, we're doing some streaming again. Say hi in the chat if you're watching, let us know who is in the room. Have a guess at when you think a shiny might show up, if at all. Do you think it's going to be 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 hours? I'm not going to stream for 10 hours. Probably, maybe. I might do, but probably won't. Tambourine, hello, it's Dr. Eagle. Hello. We're used to seeing you mostly on Lena's streams. You're playing Pokemon Shield, that is awesome. Yeah, so obviously, I was saying yesterday, Lena is away at the moment, she's down south, but she is doing a stream tomorrow, I think, from her friend's house, who she played a bit of Mario World on Twitch with the other day. I would expect that she would be playing Mario World again. They've got to try and finish the game. They're not far off the end, to be honest, but they were having a little bit of trouble towards the end there, and they were getting a bit tired and frustrated, I think. It would be fair to say. Yeah, Mario World is a classic, but it never really kind of did it for me. I was always a Mario 3 kid, because Mario 3 was the one I had, and then I got like Mario World quite a few years after that. So Mario World kind of just felt like more of the same to me. Mario 3 is where my heart is. Although my real heart goes to Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Mega Drive / Genesis. If we're talking about that sort of era. I'm all about games with blue skies and bright colours. Probably why I like Pokemon so much. Currently trying to complete the living decks. Yeah, I got the shiny charm yesterday thanks to a lot of help from Merlin and Eddie and Andreas, all from the Draw the Trigger community there. They helped me complete it, and I've done a few touch trades to get stuff seen, and there's a few things which I am still missing. Obviously there's certain things which you can't breed for, and they're one-offs like type null. But yeah, just about managed the Pokédex now, and I've got a few gaps in the living decks here, which I really need to try and fill out. But I think I'm doing quite well, all things considered. Don't know how you're going to get a Zacian. Yeah, I mean, if it still had the GTS in it, you could put up like one of the exclusive things, like a Ponyta or equivalent or something. You could put that up on the GTS, asking for a Zacian, and you know someone would do it, because it always was like that. People would always kind of trade anything for the exclusives or the starters. You could just get away with it with a bit of patience anyway. So there's that kind of eternal hope that we might see the GTS again one day. It's definitely sorely lacking in this particular game. The trading system, as I was saying on the chat yesterday, it's pretty bad. It's pretty much impossible to request what you want without going into like a forum or a Discord server and asking someone to sort you out. But hopefully that is something, I don't know, maybe they could patch it in if there was enough request for it. I get that they don't want to make like completing the Pokédex too easy, and there are only 3 legendaries, so I guess it's easier than it would be in one of the previous generations. But yeah, need to get a Scorbunny and Grookey, so breeding Italian. Yeah, I got all the starters through surprise trades. Thankfully the surprise trade was very kind to me. I ended up getting things like the Ponyta, Corsola, all that sort of stuff turned up in the surprise trade for me, which was nice. So yeah, it'd just be nice to have a proper trading system with communication and requests and all of that jazz. One of the weird cuts that this game's got. For the most part, the game feels fairly intact, despite the fact that most of the Pokemon aren't in it. But it is a shame. I can understand the Pokemon not being in the like regional decks here. It'd be nice if by the time Home came out they could release like an update patch for this game that adds in all the other Pokemon that you can then bring in from Home. That would be what I would hope, but I don't think we'll see that, unfortunately. That's probably a little bit of wishful thinking. Yeah, there's a lot of Squivits around here. Is it Squivit? Squivit? I don't know how you'd even pronounce that. It's a weird one. Is it like covet? Because they covet nuts and stuff? Is that where the name comes from? Squivit? Squivit? Don't know. So I am after the shiny version of this fox, as you can probably tell. Nick it. The shiny version is sort of like a grey fox, as opposed to the red fox. So that would be nice if that showed up. Be very nice indeed. That would be my second shiny of the generation if one does turn up. I think at the moment we've got something like 4 rolls per encounter, or there's a chance of 4 rolls depending on how the game decides to do it. How is Charge Bug supposed to evolve? In this game you can just use a Thunderstone on it and then it'll become a Vikavolt. Although in the wild area you can just catch Vikavolt like wandering around if you've got the high enough level. It's somewhere in one of the earlier wild area bits near where you get off the train at first. Somewhere around like the forested area probably. You can just come across them in the wild, which saves you a Thunderstone. Most of the evolutions, even a lot of the trade evolutions, you can find wandering around. Much of them you have to get when you've got like your 7th or 8th badge. You can't just get them straight away, but I did get like a Conkeldurr. Did I get Gigalith that way? I think I might have done. Machamp I just caught out in the wild as well. A shiny Living Dex would be an amazing goal. I don't know how possible it is. I think because you definitely can't get the 2 legendary doggos as shinies. They are absolutely shiny locked. So unless they do like special event versions of those with mystery codes or whatever, then unfortunately those will be a gap in the Pokédex there. But it would be very cool. One of the other things they've done, I don't know if you've noticed, it's not guaranteed, but when you kill a Pokemon of a certain type, that Pokemon is more likely to appear again in the wild. So you can kind of it makes your chaining a little bit easier. It kind of sort of knows that you're trying to fight that particular type of Pokemon, so it kind of favours it a little bit. Sometimes you get a bit of a drought on it and they don't turn up, but it sort of does give you a little bit of a helping hand. I think gift Pokemon also can't be shiny, so the type null you get, and things like probably your Alolan, not Alolan, the Kanto Meowth and the Kanto Yamask, you'd probably have to breed those before you could get a shiny one. You wouldn't be able to reset just for the gift ones. Now you can't evolve the Kanto Meowth either, the one that's given as a gift through the mystery gift function. You have to evolve the one that comes as a trade from the kid in Turffield in the stadium. So we're running through the PP a little bit on these moves. Oh, Hone Claws doesn't even do an attack, so actually I'm going to have to switch Korax out. So wasn't thinking then. I thought for some reason that he had 4 attacking moves, but hashtag spoiler, there's a legendary. A legendary who's taken 4 damage. Watch out. That's probably slightly overkill. Okay, so let's just pop into a box here and stick something else in that can attack. What has actually got PP left in its moves? I think a lot of these are probably still tired. Yeah, he can't attack. Or she. Oops. I'm always pressing out too much. Let's have a look through. Do I use my new shiny? She can get a few attacks in. She won't get many. She's only really got Dazzling Gleam. That'll work because Psychic won't affect the Nickit at all. But let's use the shiny we got yesterday there. Give her a bit of a chance to do some fighting, even if she's just beating up on little weaklings. I'm always a bit paranoid about like the game crashing or whatever. It's only crashed on me once, but I do tend to save quite a lot, even though there is something of an autosave. I'm always paranoid. Any game that lets you save anywhere, I do tend to save it very frequently. Of course, any single one of these encounters could be a shiny. There's always that chance. It doesn't matter how good your chain is necessarily. If you get lucky, you get lucky. So, and if you're unlucky, even if you've got the best chain odds, you can still go without seeing one. Unfortunately, this isn't the rare sparkle, this is the normal stars, as opposed to the squares, because there is like 2 different types of shiny sparkle in this particular game. What's your favourite Pokemon in the Galarian region? Oh, good question. If we're talking about specifically new Pokemon, what's my favourite of the new ones? I don't know. I mean, this might be one of them, to be honest. What have we got? What have we got? I can't even think now. My mind's gone blank. What's new ones? Nickit is really cute. Obviously, the cover doggos are pretty cool. Let me just look through my boxes and see what I think of them. Let's jump to the actual decks here. So, definitely this guy. Is it Dragapult? Yeah. Ghost Dragon. I think that's super cool. I love the whole thing about how it fires out the unevolved form like little missiles. He's definitely one of the favourites there. I think a lot of people have been breeding that one for shinies. Let's see, Mr. Rhyme. I quite like the new Darumaka form. That's quite cool. This guy makes me laugh. It's like Pingu with his head stuck in a block of ice. I'm not quite sure what the deal is with it, but it's pretty fun. I'm not keen on the dinosaurs. I do like Sinistea and Poltergeist. I do very much like these. I think they're very cute. Phalanx is very cool. I like Phalanx. Frosmoth, very cool. This is kind of like the frozen Volcarona. It's a very interesting one. I don't know if had there been an ice bug before. There probably has, but I can't think of one. Toxtricity, another good one. I think a lot of them I didn't like at first, but they've definitely grown on me. I think this is a very cool take on the Yamask line as well. The kind of the runes that kind of come together to form the shape. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think there's many Duff ones, to be honest. If I had to say my least favourite, it might be Impidimp and Grimmsnarl. I really don't think much of this guy. I think it's a bit of a mess to look at it, to be honest. So I'm not super keen on that one. I like the new Corsola forms. I don't know what that is doing in there, because that's in the wrong slot. A few of these seem to be in the wrong slot. That Ditto shouldn't be there. Anything else that's in the wrong slot there? Hopefully everything's in the right place. I think some of the things came back from a job and they sort of just slipped in wherever they kind of could, even though, yeah, like these two snow runs here, they shouldn't be in there either. They came back from a job and they just went in the gap, I think. And that guy shouldn't be in there. I think that's it then, isn't it? Yeah. Obviously there was an ice job that I'd sent them out on, and they've kind of just dumped them back into the normal boxes at the first place there was a gap. So let's just dump them back there. Yeah, so it's hard to choose an absolute favourite, to be honest. Unfortunately, a lot of my all-time favourites did not make it in. Things like Scissor and Shinx, they didn't make it in. Heracross didn't. So it kind of forces you to use unusual ones that you wouldn't normally use, perhaps. Maybe that's one of the reasons behind Dexit. Maybe it was to stop people relying on the same Pokemon again and again, since a lot of the overused ones perhaps have been cut. There's just a load of birds. So I tend to run between these two areas because it sort of reloads the other one if there's nothing in the one you want. Yeah. Let's just do a Dazzling Gleam there. See what we can do. See if we can find the Shine. It'd be nice to get a shiny, wouldn't it? Another one. I'm not necessarily expecting I think the thing is, yes, they're not the first games to cut Pokemon from the decks, but with the exception of, well, I don't know, with the exception of going back a generation, there was usually a way in the long run to bring Pokemon in from the other regions, like, you know, even Black and White. Yes, they had a few things in the post-game that were old, but you could theoretically bring any Pokemon from the previous generations into that game in the end. So even the stuff that wasn't native to the game could still come in. I think the big deal with this one is just the fact that if you've caught stuff in Sun and Moon, it will just never be able to come into this game. I think that's what I dislike. I'm all for not being able to catch certain Pokemon native to the game. That's fine by me. It's just, I'd want to link this to Pokemon Bank / Pokemon Home and bring my Scissor in, because that was always my catching Pokemon, you know? I always used full swipe on a Scissor, and I'd use that when I was going shiny hunting as my main, just to kind of full swipe anything that I wanted to catch. It's kind of tradition for me, so it feels a bit weird not to have it. I mean, I guess, you know, I mean, it's Game Freak's decision, but I really don't see why they couldn't do it. It's not like they're limited by file size. The animations for all the Pokemon exist on the 3DS versions, and it's all well and good saying it's for game balance, but the average person outside of competitive gaming would never notice anyway. And they could always just, you know, patch out things, do some kind of watch the meta, and if something's too strong, just slightly nerf it in the code, I guess. There must be ways to do it. Oh well. We'll see. Current rumours are we get Sinnoh remakes next, so We'll see what those games do. I wonder how many of these we've killed now. I'll go and have a look in the Pokédex. I've also got to switch this Pokemon back out. I think she's run out of PP on the one move that she can use. Let's have a look here. 253. So in 47 more kills, the rate of the shiny chances will jump up a little bit again. So that would be nice. I think technically it's probably better odds to hatch eggs, but it takes longer to do the hatching as a rule than it does to find the Pokemon just walking around, so I don't know what Pokemon to use. What's got good attacks? Let's just throw one of them into the party. I'll use that guy for now. He's never been used in battle, so let's use him here. All it's got to do is knock out a Nickit in one hit. It's not got to be a good battler particularly. If it can kill a level 6 or a level 7, it can be up front. I do like the design of this guy. And that guy. Quick attack. I am glad that they kept the Pokemon visible in the overworld from the Let's Go games. That is probably my favourite thing about the current generation of Pokemon. I certainly hope that is something that continues going forward. The ability to kind of run around and avoid battles, or specifically encounter the Pokemon that you want to encounter, it makes a big difference to how the game feels. It does make it feel a little bit less frustrating to run through certain areas, knowing that you're unlikely to come across many of the Pokemon that you don't want to fight. I do wish that you had a little bit of an indication about shinies on the overworld though. It's a little bit of a shame that that wasn't carried over. I also think that at this point it would be nice if the boxes would have a different coloured icon, or at least a little mark next to shiny Pokemon in the box, because there's nothing to really kind of stand them out at the moment, and if you're not careful you could lose them in your boxes. So it'd be nice to have a little mark or something. If not a recoloured sprite, it wouldn't take a long time to recolour the sprites. Yes, there's about 1,000 of them, but it really wouldn't take that long. They could get an intern to do a couple a day or something, and they'd be done before the next game came out. I'd recolour them myself for a couple of quid a piece. No Nickits? No. Bit of a drought. Well, it's a change of pace, but I'm not going to kill it because it would break the chain. Shiny chaining was something I enjoyed doing on Let's Go, but again, part of the benefit of that was that you could see when a shiny turned up on the map. And it kept count of your chain on the screen as well, which was nice. So yeah, this hunt, it could go on for another 5 minutes, could go on for another 5 hours. It's hard to tell. There's no way to tell, it's all random. Relying on Hamskay Jesus to sort us out. Ooh, a nice little group of Nickets keep turning up, that's good. I like it when they just pop up straight away. And then they stop turning up. Typical, isn't it? I don't want birds. I mean, a shiny Rookie D would be cool, but it's not what I'm after. It's not a priority right now. So of course now they all turn up. The squirrels just tend to run away when they see you, so that's good. You can kind of just throw them out. Oops, something's come at me. It's a Seedot. Hamskay Jesus, hell yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have the overlay with the whole choir thing going on right now. That's over on Lena's setup. So... Turned on the Wi-Fi in the wild area and trainers appeared. Yeah, once you go onto the online connection, you can see people walking around, see what people are doing. If you talk to them, they will give you ingredients for your curries, and sometimes they give you stuff like Stardusts. You know, pearls and all that sort of thing. So it's worth talking to them. And obviously they can do the same to you as well if they see you walking around. Shiny Fox or Riot? I know, right? Here's one. Okay, I lied. It could have been. There was a chance. I mean, it's not a 1 in a million chance. At this point, it's literally like 1 in 600 and something. So, it's possible. Given the amount I'm encountering, it's certainly not an impossibility that the fox will turn up on stream. It would be nice to get a shiny on stream 2 days in a row. Don't riot yet, James. Give it at least 30 seconds. Riot if I get shiny and then I kill it. That's when you can riot. But yeah, that's not a shiny, so... oh, it's actually doing a countdown. Uh-oh. I didn't say count it down. Please, no. Did I say 30 seconds? I meant 30 years. What have you been up to today, James? Anything good? Riot intensifies. You've been a sick boy, eating biscuits and playing Apex and Outer Worlds. I enjoyed Outer Worlds. I didn't do all of the side quests or anything, but I did get through it. It was pretty fun. How am I? I'm okay. It's quiet without Lena around, but I've got Pokemon to keep me busy. Plus I've got some commission work to do, so keeping busy. Keeping myself to myself. I think today I will basically just be streaming until I get too hungry and I actually have to go and get myself some dinner. It's only 4 o'clock now, I'm not that hungry. I had a sausage cob for lunch. Can anything attack? Yes, that's a fighting move, that works. So without wanting to jump the gun a bit, let's assume that we get a shiny fox. What do we chase after the shiny fox? Do we start hatching Ponyta? Do you think that would be cool, or is that a bit overdone? Do you think everyone's going for Ponyta? Do I go for something that we tend to see less of? What has a cool shiny? I'm not bothered about the stuff like Diglett shinies because they're just useless. They're not cool. I want something that looks cool. If a shiny looks funky and looks awesome, that's the best kind of result. Andreas has got 4 different shinies already, breeding Impidimp. Oh cool, okay. I saw you got your Yamper and your Zigzagoon. What were the other ones? I've forgotten. I did see them, I think, on Discord. I can't remember what they were though. At the moment I've got the Hatenna, which has evolved obviously. But yeah, we're going for Nickit at the moment. We do like a bit of the old Nickit. Here's one. Dreepy, Ponyta, Zigzagoon and Yamper. Dreepy's very cool. Ponyta's very cool. This is what I'm thinking though. Like Dreepy and Ponyta, yes, I'd like the shinies of those, but it seems like everybody goes for those ones. And I don't want to go for like all the obvious ones straight away. Like, I don't know, it feels like everyone's already gone for them, so they don't feel quite as special already. So I don't know what I'll go for. The shiny Zigzagoon does look very cool, I've got to say though. The colours on it are really nice. Does it not like change the dialogue based on whether you call yourself Hawthorne or not? That was pretty fun. I tried to play it through as a good guy, but in the end I just got really annoyed with the whole kind of iconoclast group, so I ended up just siding with the corporations and getting them all killed. Do an odd or weird one. We'll have to have a look through the decks and see what we fancy making a shiny of. A shiny Honedge, or Onedge, depending on whether it's Honor or Hone. A shiny one of those, Aegislash, would be super, super cool. I would like a shiny one of those. The shiny Mr. Mime doesn't really look much different, so that's definitely not one to go after. Especially considering I'm not even a big fan of that Pokemon. I'm not sure. If I can help it, I don't want to go for a shiny of something I've already got a shiny of on Sun and Moon. Which rules out things like Sneasel and Machop, because I've already got shinies of those. I wonder. I mean, I could technically try breeding for a shiny Lapras. That could be kind of cool. I wonder. I wonder. I haven't really used one of these before. This one I've taken out of the box just because I've not really kind of battled with one of these. I'm pretty sure I've got an Aegislash just sitting around in one of the boxes. I just pulled this one out because it was there and it had PP on its moves, so it seemed like an easy thing to kill foxes with. There was no real deep thinking behind my choice to have this in my party. I'll switch him out when his PP gets low or runs out. Hey, that's not what I was fighting. Hey, Steffi. I only just found out in this area about the secret little bit where you kind of you get on your bike and you go across the lake to the other side, and it's basically the same Pokemon as this, but they're all higher levels. And there's a TM over there as well. I think it was Psycho Cut, I think. I went over there and got that earlier. And I think you get a focus sash by going down that off this entrance down here and sort of sailing along that way a little bit, in case you haven't done that already. I'm sure there's other parts of the game that you can use your surfy bike on and go to new places. It'd be nice if there was a little bit more secret stuff that unlocked with the surfing bike. It does feel like there's a bit of a drought when it comes to secrets in this game. It would be nice if there were some like secret caves to explore with good Pokemon at the end and secrets and stuff. Hello, Hikari. Late, but you're only fashionably late. You're just showing the rest of us up for being too early, including me, and I'm the one doing the stream. Well, we're killing Nickets, but also hunting it at the same time. We're just doing a bit of a cull, so that there's only shiny ones left. Anything that's not shiny just dies by the sword, quite literally at the moment. Technically, fox hunting was banned in this country, but apparently it's okay if it's a Pokemon. Does the shiny form not show on the wild Pokemon in nature? If you mean does it show on the map, no. That's something they didn't carry over from Sword and Shield. No, blimey. From Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Unfortunately, that was one of my favourite things about Let's Go, that you could actually see the shinies on the map. But for this game they decided let's not bother with that. I guess that was too obvious for them to keep it. I'm just going to give this move here, just so it's got another attacking move, because that's not an attack, so I'll just throw that onto there, then I can just keep him in the party a little bit longer. That'll be fine. There's a Nickit. Yeah, I mean, it's survival of the fittest, isn't it, in Pokemon? It's the same as in real life. If you're not special, you get left by the wayside or killed, unfortunately. You know, you have to be one of the chosen few, the 1%, Or in the case of shinies, like the 0.01%. Yeah, if you could see shinies in the overworld, it'd make life so much easier on the shiny hunts. I mean, it would kind of suck to think that you've walked past Pokemon in wild grass that the game had already determined were going to be shiny if you went into the battle, and you just wandered past it completely oblivious, even though the game was like, yeah, this one's a shiny. I mean, how annoying would that be? But you just didn't know. That would be really irritating. Sometimes you do see a Pokemon that has a sort of aura around it, but that's not an indication of shininess. That's called brilliant Pokemon. And I think those ones tend to have higher stats or like better IVs or whatever you call it. Is it EVs or IVs? I'm not sure. It tends to be better that way, and they give you a little bit of watts when you beat them as well or catch them, which you can use in the wild area to purchase balls and moves and such like. Bloody rookie-tees. Now all the foxes have gone extinct, look. None around. Oh, there's one. I lied. Make it a shiny. Boof. That's not a shiny. Brilliant Pokemon have hidden abilities, better IVs and egg moves. There you go. So they're worth kind of going after as well then. By beating a lot of them, that increases the shiny chances. Oh, okay. So definitely worth keeping an eye out for. I mean, I'm basically killing any Nickit I see. As long as it's not a shiny, it will die, regardless of whether it's brilliant or not. Is it a Nickit? Yes, let's kill it. As a rule. Yamper! Oh, he's so cute. So this might be the kind of face of Draw the Triggers videos for a while, this sort of content, with the occasional card fight stream thrown in when I feel like it, I guess. The only problem is because it is a little bit out of date now. It's kind of like a legacy format already. I guess if you look at it as a self-enclosed legacy game, they're just, you know, features a certain era. It's one of those things that you could actually look back on in a few years and think, oh, those were good times, whether or not they are good times or not. The squirrel is adorable. It's very cute. It's one of my favourite of the kind of generic, normal type early Pokemon. It's a lot better than frickin' Bidoof. Hated Bidoof. One of those Sinnoh Pokemon that just you never want to see again. That one, I'm not bothered about that having made the cut. That's fine by me. Hikari likes Bidoof. Well, it takes all sorts. Someone's got to like Bidoof. I hope they do the Sinnoh remakes, to be honest. It'd be nice to play those on a telly in HD. As long as they keep all the improvements that kind of Platinum made to it as well, and then bring over things like being able to see the Pokemon in the wild and that sort of thing as well. If they give it a similar treatment to the Let's Go games, but keep the battle system rather than the throwing balls at things just because. I don't think a wild area would really fit, you know. They'd have to kind of wedge it in somewhere if they wanted to do that, and I don't think there's anywhere it would particularly fit. Patrat was okay. I wasn't keen on the evolution as much as the actual base Patrat form. I think Watchog was a bit meh, but Patrat was cool. Is it Patrat or Patrat? Patrat. His name is Pat, and he is a rat. Cross Scissor. Is Cross Scissor any good against Dark? Is Bug good or bad against Dark type? I never know. I know Fighting's good against Dark. Let's see. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's not very effective, to be honest, because it's like level 5. Bidoof basically was your HM slave, I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, Bug is actually super effective. That's fine then. Yeah, Bidoof basically became a thing. You'd kind of give it Surf and probably Strength. Cut. Could it have Cut? I don't know if it could have Cut. Basically, it could learn most of the things, I think, so you'd be stuck with a Bidoof at the back of the team for most of the game, I think, until you could actually just fly everywhere. Do do do. Boop boop ba doo ba doo ba doo. Burbs. Burbs. How many have we killed now? Let's have a look. It's got to be coming up on 300 at this point. 294. So 6 more, and the shiny odds will slightly increase. I think the main difference is we get an extra reroll when it goes into a battle. But one extra roll each encounter makes all the difference, I should imagine, so... Oh, sod off, you little chipmunky bastard. Dark is weak to Fairy. Tinkerbell owns Darth Vader, confirmed. Yeah. Tinkerbell could totally beat Darth Vader. And since it's all Disney now, it might actually happen. If they do like a Disney version of Super Smash Brothers... Can you imagine a Disney-fied Smash Brothers? I guess it'd just be Kingdom Hearts, though. Kingdom Hearts Smash. Super Smash Hearts. How about that? I think a lot of people would probably like that, actually. Just Smash Brothers with the Kingdom Hearts skin. If there was like a Disney Smash Brothers, who would be your main? What Disney character or character from a franchise now owned by Disney would you main? I'd be tempted to go with Kermit the Frog, personally. I'm pretty sure the Muppets is owned by Disney these days. And everyone loves Kermit the Frog. I bet that Yampa's shiny, even though I'm hunting Nickit. No, okay, this is fine then. It is a good question, isn't it, James? Who would you pick? Everyone, who would you pick as your Disney main? Hercules, go for the raw power. Stitch. Robin Hood, get some long range attacks going. Yampa is a potato dog. It is a potato dog. I think it's basically the same as me. I'm a potato dog as well. Definitely Robin Hood. I used to love the Robin Hood film when I was a kid. I used to watch that one a lot. I had it on video. Showing my age there, had it on VHS. Used to be one of my favourites. That and I think Pinocchio and Dumbo, they were the ones I watched the most as a kid. I remember going to the cinema to see Toy Story 1. That was pretty amazing at the time. Where do you get an egg? If you want to know where you can breed your Pokemon, if you leave them at the nursery, if you go to Turffield, the town with the grass gym, just to the right of there is the nursery, and you can leave some Pokemon there, and as long as they're the right type, then occasionally the person standing outside will give you eggs. Robin Hood was the coolest guy ever. I think he was probably one of my childhood crushes. Not that I'd have realised it at the time, probably. James would pick Jack Skellington. Very cool. There's also a nursery in the wild area, there is indeed. And you can actually have both generating eggs for you if you want. I tend to have my Japanese Ditto is in the nursery near Turffield. And I've got a regular Ditto, local Ditto in the one in the wild area, because I've only got one Japanese one so far. But if I had a second Japanese Ditto, that would be in both. Have we hit that 300 mark yet? I haven't been counting. I think once we hit 300 of these, the next milestone I think is 500, and then that's when the odds max out. But that's going to require killing another 200 foxes, and at that point I'm going to start feeling very guilty. 301, yeah. So when I've killed another 199... and the RSPCA has very much come after me. Glowing it out vans. Very cool. I always liked a good pair of vans. The nice slip-on check ones, they were my favourite. Used to go everywhere in those. I do have a pair of Vans somewhere, but I don't wear them now. They're a bit old and worn. I should probably throw them away. Mindless murders have been for nothing. Oh, really? You don't increase shiny chance by killing the normal ones, really? Oh, I thought that you kind of it was just the number battled that increased the thing. That's what the little table I read said. Do you have to kill 500 brilliant ones to increase the shiny chance? Really? Because if that's the case, then I am just better off breeding. Only by killing the brilliant ones. But they hardly ever show up. That's ridiculous. How are you supposed to come across 500 brilliant ones? That seems pretty crazy. Nintendo confirmed it themselves. Oh no, that's harsh, that is. So I've been killing them for nothing and it's not increased my shiny odds. When you kill them, more start to show. I've only seen like 5 brilliant ones, even though I've killed like 300 of these, so it's not... They're not showing up. The occasional one shows up, but most of them are normal ones like this. Well, I might go and do some breeding of the Nickets instead then, because I think the eggs probably have a higher chance in that case. Here was me thinking I had a higher shiny odds. When you kill brilliant ones, more brilliant show. Wow. Be nice if they did, because I've killed a few brilliant ones. But they've always been sort of like one-off ones. Well, that sucks a bit, doesn't it? If they've made it a little bit more difficult like that, that seems a little bit of a pain in the bum to me. But if that's how it is, I can't imagine that I'm going to kill 500 brilliant Pokemon in the next half an hour at all. I'd be lucky to see one or two at this rate. They're just not showing up, are they? It does seem a little bit odd, because that would mean that Pokemon that only appear in the long grass and don't appear on the overworld itself, they wouldn't be able to become brilliant, would they? Because surely they're only brilliant if you can see them. Which would mean that you would not be able to increase the odds. I find it weird to think that the normal ones would be a waste of time, when literally for a lot of Pokemon you can only see normal ones. Like Seedot, for example, which only shows up in the long grass. The long grass ones are never brilliant. Well, I'll go for a little bit longer and then I'll switch to hatching the eggs, because I think my Nickit is still over at the daycare. Applin doesn't show up in the overworld, right, so Applin wouldn't be able to get brilliant, so you wouldn't be able to increase its shiny odds. It does seem weird that they would kind of choose to do it that way, rather than just let you encounter 500 Applin through the long grass route and still increase the chances. That seems like that would make more sense from a design perspective. Otherwise it's locking a load of Pokemon off from being able to increase the chance. Then again, it is Game Freak, so who knows. Raidmons also have increased shiny chances. I've heard this, although I haven't really seen any shinies in that form myself. I saw like one on Twitter, and it got away. It'd be nice if you could like look at the shiny chance somewhere to see if it was actually increasing or not on the screen. Because I'm just not seeing brilliant foxes here. I've killed 300 of them today, and I've seen like 3 brilliant ones. The mystery surprise trade thing, it did get me quite a few of the version exclusives, things like Corsola, Ponyta. It helped me fill my decks a little bit. I was pretty pleased that that worked quite well. I guess considering that even if the shiny rates did increase through normal ones, it's like another 200 kills to increase the shiny rate again. It's probably just generally quicker to enter a encounter, and if it's not shiny, just run away at this point. It wouldn't ruin the chain. I could just literally leg it each time, and that would kind of save a few seconds. Do it a little bit more traditional. I did hatch quite a few Nickit eggs this morning as well. That's one of the reasons I decided to change and go over to this style. I probably hatched another 2 boxes full this morning. And then I fancy the change of pace. And now there's no Nickit showing up at all. They just don't want in the show. I mean, like, fine, if you're going to be like that. I don't want to see you anyway, Nickit. $501 increases shiny chance by ×6, yeah. I didn't realise it was just for brilliant Pokemon though. That seems really ridiculous considering how hard it is to find a brilliant Pokemon. Even when you do find one, you never seem to see another one for ages. Like, if you were to watch this stream back, early on in the stream, I did come across a couple of brilliant ones, and I have seen the occasional one here and there, but it's definitely not increased the rate of them. If anything, I'm seeing them less after I've killed a few. I've seen brilliant birds and brilliant squirrels. I've seen more of those than I've seen of the brilliant Nickit. After 50, it's a 2x shiny chance and 1.6 for brilliant Pokemon. Okay. Well. See, there's a brilliant Pokemon, but it's not a Nickit, so it doesn't really feel worth killing. If that was a brilliant Nickit, that'd be great. It does feel like I'm better off doing shiny hatching at this point rather than fighting. I mean, I'm assuming the brilliant Pokemon do have to be of the same species to increase the shiny rate. It's not just kill 500 assorted brilliant Pokemon, I would assume. That would seem very strange. Shiny hunting seems very grindy. Yeah, I mean it feels grindy. It always has been. I mean, it felt a little less so on Let's Go because if one showed up, then it showed up and you could actually see it. So it tended to be quite short hunts on Let's Go. See, there's a brilliant one, but it's a squirrel. Useless. Masuda and Shiny Charm is best. Yeah, I'll probably do that because I've got my Japanese Ditto. I've got my Shiny Charm. I thought this might have better odds because if I could kill 3 to 500, then it would kind of have that higher rate. But if it has to be brilliant, then all of a sudden this feels extremely pointless. I'm a little disappointed that they chose to make it only the brilliant Pokemon that would increase the rate. I'll just do a couple more and then I'll switch to the egg method. We got lucky with an egg yesterday, so we might be able to capture the same luck again. Okay, let's have a change of pace then. This method was not working. Where's the nursery gone? There. One of the things I didn't want to do with the whole egg hatching thing is just having to like have boxes full of stuff that you then kind of have to release and do all the whole stuff in your boxes full of crap routine. It's a bit annoying. Nice when you don't have to bother with all of that. But I was misled by the chart and the other websites, I guess. Let's see if we can get a shiny doing it this way like we did yesterday. Did I have any eggs in my boxes? While I'm looking. Might as well hatch that one as well. Okay, that's it. Just that. Hatching eggs faster than they turn up at the moment. Delete every 60 eggs. Yeah, I don't like to stuff my boxes too full. And particularly with Nickit eggs. No one wants to get a Nickit on a Wonder Trade, so there's no point in sending them out as a surprise either. It's not like trading something good like a Corsola or a Ponyta or something. People will just get pissed off if you send them Nickits and Squivits and that sort of generic rubbish. Well, You can wonder trade eggs. I don't know if you can. Maybe you can. I don't know. I would assume you can't. These ones hatch really quickly. Much quicker than they turn up. Oh, I meant no one wants to random nick it, basically. It's like, because it's just such a... It turns up right at the start of the game. It'd be like sending out a rookie D or something. Like, just... No one likes to do a surprise trade and get one of the generic, easy-to-find starter type of things. The beginner Pokemon. No one wants that stuff. I try and only send stuff out on surprise trade if it's something which would actually be useful for people, for their Pokedex. Or something interesting, if not useful. Like if I was to breed Ponyta, obviously, you'd send those out because everyone wants that. Or half of the game playing population can't get it in their games, so it would be a welcome surprise. Some kind of egg trade could be fun, but I don't think it lets you do so. If the eggs would actually turn up as a steady supply and she would actually like get the eggs in quickly, this would actually be faster than the random encounters anyway. But my Ditto doesn't seem to be very horny today. You wait a long time for one egg sometimes. Come on, give me an egg. Let's have an egg now, please. I haven't got any. Someone needs to give my Ditto some Viagra. There we go. The Ditto is definitely the top in this relationship. So who else is actually playing this game right now as I'm playing it? And what are you currently doing in the game? Hikari can't even, right? That's it, good Ditto. Shiny hunting impy-dimp. Oh yeah, you did say. I'm totally not counting my eggs, by the way. Ditto can be anything it wants to be. Absolutely. It's a Switch. Ha! It's funny because I'm playing on a Switch. I just noticed the texture on the tail there isn't particularly great. Oh well. You can't expect like current gen visuals from Game Freak, it's never going to happen. Scaled up Wii or GameCube game, that's what you get. We have to just deal with that. Egg. Well, this is a productive use of my Sunday, isn't it? I could be doing anything. I could be going out and enjoying life, and I'm sitting here driving in circles trying to get a shiny... What am I trying to get a shiny of? Oh yeah, the fox. This feels like an absolutely good use of my adult years while I'm in my prime. Come on, more eggs please. More eggs. Thank you. I will. I'll take good care of it. Make a nice omelette. Nickit omelette. Using the fresh Nickit eggs. That'd be weird, like a mammal omelette. Mammal egg omelette. You are watching me ride in circles. This has got to be the most boring thing to watch in the world. That's why it's kind of like I've gone on stream so I can talk to you guys, so it's a little bit less boring for me. I actually am restoring the fox population, yes. It's a little bit less boring for me because I can talk to you guys, and it's a little bit less boring for you because we can talk. So, if I was doing this without any voice, then you would literally be watching me drive in circles and nothing else would be going on. So, be thankful that I actually have the microphone, and please talk to me. Keep the conversation going. It's the only thing keeping me sane. James! Don't be silent. Grinding some D2. Is that Disgaea 2? Because to me, D2 will always mean Disgaea 2. That, to me, grinding D2 just means going into the item world and making your weapons better and gaining all the statisticians and subpoenas and stuff. It could be something else completely different, but D2 will always be Disgaea 2 to me. Oh, I forgot how to move in a circle then. Completely forgot how that worked. Oh, Donkey Kong 2, obviously, yeah. Destiny 2. I didn't even know there was a Destiny 1. Could be a two-sided dice, that too. Season Pass event. Okay. I don't keep up with modern games. Like, I had a go at Fortnite and I really didn't like it. It was completely the opposite of what I like from gaming, so I hear people talk about like Apex and Overwatch and stuff, and I'm just like, nah, not for me. Not for me, love. I'll leave that kind of game for the kids. I don't like competitive stuff. I just like relaxing games I can play and chill out with. That's kind of why I like Pokemon. It's very chilled out. I mean, there's a competitive side to it, but it's so easy to just let that kind of pass you by. Has anyone actually bothered doing the Rotom Rally stuff on this game? I did one Rotom Rally, and then I never did it again. PvE. I don't know what PvE stands for. I know what PvP stands for, but I don't know what PvE stands for. Players versus events. Enemies, I guess. That probably makes sense. Modern gaming terminology's passed me by as well. I'm officially old now. I'm 37 next year. I don't know what happened. Player versus environment. Oh, like one minute I was a teenager and I was playing like Pokemon Red and Blue and Ocarina of Time, and I was having a great old time in my teen years. And then the PlayStation 2 came out, and that was really exciting. And then I woke up one morning and it was 2018 and everyone was on PlayStation 4s and Xbox Pro X's, and they're all playing Overwatches and pub games or whatever it is, and I'm like, what are you on about? Oh. And it happened to me, that whole Grandpa Simpson thing about not being it anymore and not knowing what it is. It absolutely happened to me. I hit like, it was probably when I hit about 30. And all of a sudden, I just lost it completely. And it will happen to you. You will be like, what are the kids on about? You might be 17 now and you're down with it and you know what everything is. Yeah, enjoy it while you can, because you will not retain it. It's easy to think, oh, I'll never be out of touch. You will be. Guaranteed, you will be. Jess, will need a Zimmer frame. Bloody hell, I do need one some mornings. When I wake up, my back hurts that much. I'm that old. I'll go to bed some nights and my back hurts so much I have to go and take painkillers just to get to sleep, because my back's just in so much pain just from being and doing, especially if I've been out all day. If I've been out for a few hours, by the time I get home I'm in agony. In your 20s and already feel out of touch, well, get used to that, because it doesn't go back the other way. It's when you start looking at all the YouTubers and the Twitch streamers and they're all about 20 years younger than you, and you think, bloody hell, that passed me by. I mean, it wasn't really there when I was that age anyway. I wish we'd have had Twitch and YouTube and streaming and stuff when I was 17. If we'd have had like the modern kind of capacity to put videos onto the internet and create stuff, I would have loved it at that age. I was really creative. I mean, you know what we do? We draw the trigger now, and that's when we were in our 30s, mid-30s. You think, you know, if we'd have had this kind of ability to do this stuff 15, 20 years ago when we were with it, to be able to like record GameCube footage and PS2 footage and do reviews and Let's Plays and stuff, I'd have loved it. I'd have absolutely loved it. The Warhammer community tends to have older streamers. I think a lot of the Warhammer guys are probably in their 40s and 50s, which is quite nice. What streamers do you watch that's in their 40s? I don't know many streamers. Lena watches Paladin Amber, Paris Lees or Harris or something. Not the trans girl. The guy who talks about Twitch streaming. Harris something. Paris something. I don't know. She watches him. Who else does she watch? She watches someone who plays Animal Crossing a lot on DS. Streams that. I really don't know many streamers. Like I was looking at the Golden Joystick Awards for the voting for that, and it said best upcoming streamer, vote now. And I didn't bloody know any of them. I was like, who the hell are these kids? Oh, I don't bloody know. I miss the old categories. Best graphics, best music, best gameplay. That's all you needed. Okay, I've heard of Ashens. I like Ashens. I haven't heard of the other two there, James. I've heard of Ashens. Ashens is fun. Ashens is relatable content because, again, he's not that much older than me, so... Yeah. I have sort of kind of looked over the shoulder of Lena when she has watched a few of Ashen's like retro game streams, I think. At the moment, the only thing we can really stream is the Switch, which is fine because the Switch is amazing. Not that we got that many Switch games. Got a bunch of indie games, cheapo ones. Not much in the way of full retail titles. Send us Switch games to the Draw the Trigger address and we will play them on stream, or at least Lena will. Like, my main hobby is Warhammer. I mean, I played Pokemon a hell of a lot whenever a new one comes out. And I love stuff like Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy. But outside of games like that, like the big RPGs of the year, I don't tend to play that much in the way of video games. I wasn't going to play The Outer Worlds, to be honest, but because I've got Xbox Game Pass on my PC, so it was just free to play, basically, because it was like on that £4 a month subscription. That's the only reason I ended up playing that. I actually played Gears 5 on it as well for a little bit. That ran quite nicely on my PC. I was amazed. And yeah, that was quite fun. It was a bit nostalgic because I played the original Gears back when that came out on the 360. I didn't finish it though. I wasn't. It's not my kind of game enough to actually like play through an entire game of something like Gears. I found that did get quite repetitive quite quickly. Here's me complaining about Gears being repetitive, and I'm literally driving in circles hatching eggs. Repetitive is not an argument I'm allowed to use today. Like, nothing is more repetitive than this. This is probably the most repetitive thing you could do in video gaming right now. But on the other hand, I get a shiny fox if it works, so, you know, swings and roundabouts, I guess. Lena comes back on Friday this week, I believe. She'll be back home then, so be nice to see her again. I miss her. Lena's the streamer of the two of us, really. I do streams like this, which is quite spur of the moment stuff, where I'm just sort of like talking over my gameplay. I mean, drop a like on the video if that's the kind of thing that you enjoy and you're happy to watch me do these sort of little spur of the moment rando streams. Lena's are a little bit more organised, but obviously she sticks to Twitch. I wonder if she'd get more viewers if she did it on the Draw the Trigger channel. but I guess she wants to build her own brand there. But it's hard to build an audience on Twitch. I accidentally sent that to a box. So if anyone wants to do a favour for Lena when she goes live, if you want to share her streams out to people who you think might be interested, or share the links on Twitter and stuff, that'd be really appreciated. Help her build an audience, because sometimes the streams don't have that many viewers, and I don't know, but I think it's not super encouraging when you don't get that many viewers. So what did the fox say? Yeah, what did the fox say? Imagine if I downloaded that song and put it on loop while I'm hatching this egg, and it doesn't stop playing until I hatch the shiny. And then when I do hatch the shiny, I just turn the song up. Is YouTube falling apart? I didn't know that. I'm out of touch. Our YouTube channel seems to be doing alright. It's not like growing massively right now, but that's kind of because we haven't been doing a lot of Vanguard. We need to do more Vanguard, but budget is a thing for a start. It's expensive. I was looking at the Angel Feather cards and I just can't afford to upgrade the deck even if I wanted to. I can't even afford the triple rares, not to mention the VRs. I just haven't got the money for it. That's why I was hoping Cardfight EX would be like a continuously updated thing, or when Cardfight Online was a thing. If Cardfight Online had actually come out, we'd have probably switched over to digital entirely at the time. But sadly, we can't do it. Not that if we did it on like something like Cardfight Online, it would probably be much cheaper. You'd still probably have to pay for the booster sets and packs and stuff. Angel VR is like $6 US. Yeah, the problem is shipping stuff to the UK adds to a huge amount of cost. Whether you're getting it from Europe, it's costing a lot, or from America, and the places in the UK that sell it mark it up to like 17 quid. So it's just like, and to be honest, even if I wanted to buy a playset at $6 each, that's what, 12, 24 plus the triple rares, you're probably looking $50 to upgrade the deck minimum, and I can't afford that. That's too much. I don't make that much money right now. I'm really doing bad for money. Really doing badly. Yeah. The loss of Cardfight Online will forever sting. The release of EX made it a little bit better, but CFO would have been like one of those things that they kept going and they did upgrade and update. It's forever going to be a shame it never happened. I wish I had the money to just buy like a box of BTO 7 for the channel and box that. That'd be nice, just to get a nice unboxing video out, but it ain't gonna happen because we ain't got the cash. Bloody rent and bills and council tax and all that gubbins, phone bills and electricity bills and internet bills. More money going out than coming in. At least you got this unfoxing video. Genius. That's the pun of the day. Everyone give Merlin an award for pun of the day. I want to see you clapping in the comments. Whatever. Is it 888? Is that what they do for a clap? Like hatchy 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 or something. They had a fully functional game with only a few minor bugs. Yeah, that's the thing. Like CFO, it didn't need that much work to iron it out, I don't think. It felt like it was really close to being a shippable product. It just crashed now and then, and it froze when you did drive checks, like the camera would lock or whatever. I mean, the fact is that when you're looking at EX gameplay and you look at it side by side with gameplay from CFO, it's very similar. Very similar indeed. I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard for them to revive the project for PC, put it onto Steam, and actually have it update. The soundtrack, I can't remember the soundtrack very well, to be honest. Wonder if anyone uploaded the music from YouTube before the game died. Or whether anyone still has the file that they could kind of extract it from the source. That'd be interesting. Oops. Oh, keep pressing B and it goes back to the box. Well, we've nearly done a full box. Oh, blimey, I missed. We've nearly done a full box here, so... yeah, CFO would be pretty sweet if it did ever come back, but... I think it's wishful thinking, isn't it? Wishful thinking. Closest we'll actually probably get is Card Fight Zero, because that's one of those games that probably will be continual. Probably will get new sets added in. I know on the Steam library you can still download the actual game, it just won't go past the title screen. So maybe I'll run it down and see if I can film like a 1 hour mix of the title screen music or something. That could be kind of neat. Zero isn't Vanguard. To be honest, the Zero beta, when I downloaded it from the Discord link, I enjoyed it. It wasn't Vanguard as we know it, but I still enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I didn't hate it. Not to the extent I was expecting to think this is rubbish. It was a lot more playable than I expected. I mean, yeah, the way you can't actually, like, choose to guard was a bit annoying. But it is what it is. I mean, it's the closest thing to a Vanguard experience on a mobile. Until some clever clogs manages to port Vanguard EX to the phone. It's probably possible for someone to do that. Even if it's like a Switch emulator for Android, someone will find a way. I wonder how different the PS4 version is. I bet it's just the same but with trophies, isn't it? I wonder if it runs in 4K on a PS4 Pro. Bet the card art looks quite nice in 4K if it's high resolution enough. I have had a go at the Pokemon card game here and there. Like, I played it a bit when it first came out. I bought loads of base set and fossil and all that sort of stuff back at the time. Jungle. I stopped playing around the time the first Gym Leader sets came out, which was just after Team Rocket. That's when I sort of lost interest a bit. Then I bought the first few sets of Gold and Silver again when they released, which I think was like Neo, something like that. And I bought some Japanese packs. Then I stopped again. Then I got into it when Ruby and Sapphire came out, and I bought a few boxes of the first few sets, like I think Sandstorm, whatever the Ruby and Sapphire base set was called at the time. I bought a few of those. Then I didn't play the Pokemon card game again for ages until like we were playing Generation 5 on 3DS, and then we bought some like the Plasma Freeze and Plasma Blast type of sets, and we did some of that. But yeah, the Pokemon card game, I liked it, but I didn't like it enough to keep up with it and to build proper decks. Dark Scizor. Scizzor's one of my favourite Pokemon. I loved the artwork on the Team Rocket set. It's a shame that most of the Pokemon were actually a lot weaker than the ones from like Jungle and Fossil. Especially like HP wise, they had really low HP. I remember a lot of them were like, if they were 60 before, they might be like 40 in the Team Rocket set. Pokemon TCG on the Game Boy was amazing. That's where most of my gameplay went on TCG. I love the music. The music on the TCG game is bloody amazing. Like, I could just listen to that music all day. Whoever composed that game, absolute musical genius. Musical genius. The music on this game, Sword and Shield, isn't bad. There's a few standout tracks, like when you're fighting against Leon and Rose. But for the most part, it just sounds like a generic kind of 3DS game. It doesn't sound like a Switch game for the most part, you know? And a lot of the tracks for battles just feel like a bit of a cacophony rather than a musical score. Be nice to get some more decent music. I tell you what did have good music. Pokemon Coliseum games. Or rather Pokemon Stadium, sorry, on the N64. The tunes on those, the battle themes, were all really good. I remember really like bopping along to those when I was a kid. Well, I say I was a kid, I mean, what was this, like 98, 99, so I'd have been a late teenager. But yeah, playing Pokemon Stadium. I seem to remember the music when you were fighting Mewtwo was amazing. Poke Park 3. Is that actually a thing? They've announced like that kind of Pokemon Sleep and stuff, and it's like, oops, I didn't want to do that. Yeah, I don't know what that's gonna be. It's something where you catch Pokemon while you're asleep. Bit weird. Genius Sonority does need to make another Pokemon game. Frankly, I'd like to see what they could do by making a mainline one, or just team them up with Game Freak and say, look, pool your resources and make a really good one. Because the XD and Colosseum, they were both really good. Like, literally the only thing that dragged them down from being anything other than a proper Pokemon experience was the fact it didn't really have wild battles. Like, if they'd had like tall grass and proper routes between the areas, and not just the cutscene on the motorbike, it could have basically been a full-fledged Pokemon game. The storylines were pretty good. The graphics were pretty nice. The animation was definitely, I think, of a higher standard than what you get on 3DS and Switch games. I would really totally be down to see that region again, but actually expand it so it had. In fact, that would be the perfect region to implement the wild area as the desert, and then have all the kind of towns and stuff branching off where you could go on the motorbike and actually drive it yourself around the area, or explore it on foot and kind of check out, you know, all the secret parts of the desert as well, and there's maybe have oases and all that sort of stuff to explore, caves and all different kind of landmarks. That would be a really cool use of the wild area to bring that region to life. Baton Caritas was fun. I think, yeah, that region would be amazing for a wild area. yeah, I mean a HD port of the GameCube games, they would look fine. I mean, you could upgrade the textures a bit, upgrade the character models a little bit. You wouldn't have to do a lot to make them relevant to the Switch. Yeah, just clean it up a bit, bring in the quality of life improvements, bring in wild areas, wild Pokemon. Just add in the kind of essentials and then just expand on it a little bit. You could even merge the Pokemon XD and Pokemon Colosseum story into one longer adventure. Maybe have the XD one as like the post game and the Colosseum side as the main storyline. Expand it out that way. I mean, half of the work's already done anyway, isn't it, then, so... It'd be a shame to not see the region or those games again. I wonder if any of the stuff from that era is referred to in the Pokemon Masters game. I know that kind of goes through all the other previous regions. I wonder if there's any reference at all, like to characters like Mirror B. There were some fun characters in the GameCube ones. It's gone quiet now. Got nothing to say. I've run out of conversation now. I'm beginning to think Shiny's not going to show up on this particular stream. Sing us a song. I can't sing, and I don't know any songs. I don't know words. I really am tone deaf. It's hard to explain just how much I cannot hold a tune. Like, no. If you heard me sing, the viewers would all immediately leave. All the likes would become dislikes. Our subscriber count would drop down to about 3. The moment you give up is when the shiny appears. That's the thing, isn't it? You just know that, like, the one that you'd quit on would be the shiny. At the same time, at some point, I'm going to have to do myself some food because I'm starting to get hungry. So this stream probably won't go on for that much longer, but then I might rejoin it later. What time is it? 5:30. Yeah, I could have a bit of a break, have a bit of dinner, then come back and resume if anyone would want to see me carry on. I think even Lena would unfollow me if I sang. I am that tone deaf, really. I'm as tone deaf as I am bad at directions. That's how bad it is. If you need a break, I've assembled the Chaff, Dramper and Sableye for those trades. Okay. We can do that. When it hits 2 hours on the stream, give it a couple of minutes and then I'll end the stream for... Oops. I'll end the stream. We can do that. I can get myself some food and then we can probably bring it back later. Where the hell's that egg? There. We've skipped a box. According to the timer thing, it says that the stream's been live for 1 hour 57, so that seems like when it gets to 2 hours. 2 hours seems like a good length for a stream of this sort of variety where it's a little bit repetitive. Anyone who watches this back is going to be like, well, that was a waste of 2 hours of my life. Thanks, Jess. You're welcome. You're very welcome. You watched it. You can't unwatch it. Imagine if real life had a rewind function like in video games where you're like, that hour was a waste of an hour. I'm going to just rewind that and do something else. That would be useful. Oh, he's so cute. Alright, we've got a minute and a half to catch a shiny. Can we do it? 1.5 minutes. That's all we're looking for. We can do this. We've got this. Jess, says James, shiny or riot. I knew riot was coming. Yeah. As long as it's a polite riot. Just don't make it one of those rowdy riots. Make it one of those riots where you stand there politely and kind of help old ladies across the street. That's the kind of riots that I'm allowed. Or that I'm allowing. Oh, that's not a shiny. We've got about 40 seconds. So whatever the next egg is, that's basically the end of the stream. So can we get some last egg magic? Send me karma in the comments now for last egg magic. Can we do it? LEM, last egg magic. Here we go. Last egg magic. Shiny? Shiny? No, it's not a shiny. I blame James. It's the blame James game. So, yeah. We failed. We failed. Oh no. We didn't do it. It's a disaster. Right, I want to be an adult in Pokemon too, right? Jess, you're a numpty. I know I'm a numpty, but you're a numpty enabler, so take that. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream there for now. Hashtag blame James. We've got Shame Jack and blame James. Hashtag blame James is a new thing. I'm making it a hashtag. Merlin's a genius. Hashtag blame James. When we see him in person again, he's going to get blame James. And that's it. That's it for the stream. Everyone blame James. Hashtag 100 years blame James. And I'll catch you later, and I'm going to message Merlin any second now off stream. See you later. Love you people. And we'll see if we can get this shiny Nickit later. Bye-bye. Say goodbye, Pokemon trainer. Bye.